What's going on, Jazz Nation, and welcome on into the Jazz Huddle. I am your host, Addison, and we are less than 4 hours away from game number 1 of the 2021 NBA second round between the Utah Jazz, the 1 seed in the Western Conference. Let's go. And then we got the Los Angeles Clippers coming to town, the last LA team standing. It's game day. I am hyped, and I'm coming out here with a series preview for you guys today, man. It is certainly going to be a fun series. There's plenty to talk about. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to waste my time. We're going to get right into it. And other than I'm so excited for this series, let me tell you, I'm so happy we're playing the Clippers and not Dallas, because if we beat Dallas, everyone would be saying, oh, cupcake, oh, blah, blah, blah. No. I'm ready to play who is now, quote-unquote, what social media will be telling you, the top dog in the Western Conference and the Clippers. Although I disagree, while we are the top dog because we are the 1 seed, but social media loves their big market teams. But that we're not even going to get into. Here are the 3 things. There are 3 things to getting this series done and over with, and a Jazz win secure. What? You've got to come out and you have to win at least 1 at home. I know that sounds, oh, well, yeah, duh, you got to win 1 or 2 at home to start the series. Well, it's easier said than done without Mike Conley for probably both those games. We already know he's going to miss tonight. But we don't know if he's going to be able to make Thursday's game, which makes game 1 even more important. If you win game 1, you don't have to play him game 2. You lose game 1, you got to play him game 2. Kind of like we saw with the Donovan Mitchell situation. I don't think it's the same reason. I think Mike Conley is legitimately hurt. But, if we lose game 1, got to get him back in for game 2. That is such a key thing. And regarding that Mike Conley news, is now it's time for Jingle and Joe to step up. We already know Joe Ingles is going to ball on his son, Paul George. We already know Joe Ingles is going to step up defensively. That's not a problem. But we need him showing him up on offense too. We need Joe Ingles to do work. Joe Ingles averaged 6 points on like 30% shooting from downtown. He was just off. We never really got the touches or the shot selections that he wanted to get that he's normally able to get as a seasoned veteran, which is, what you're accustomed to seeing from Jingle and Joe. That's going to be so big, especially when Joe Ingles is going to be running a lot of the point. We saw him run the point in that month without Mike Conley, and he did well in that role. It's not like he did bad. He excelled in that role. Excelled what most of our expectations were. And so we're going to need big minutes out of Jingle and Joe. Something else I want to touch on. Jordan Clarkson, such a key to this series. Y'all know we love our Filipinos here on the channel. But your boy Jordan Clarkson, we need him tonight. We need him in game 2, especially with no Mike Conley. I cannot stress the importance enough of game 1 and game 2 without Mike Conley, because that could really put us in a hole in the series. You at least grab one of them here, we're good. I'm telling you all, we're in a good spot. We win at least one of the games here in Utah. We're in a good spot, and I'm feeling great. We lose tonight, but we win game 2, I'm all right. We win tonight, we lose game 2, I'm still all right. But Jordan Clarkson is going to be big to get one of those wins, right? Jordan Clarkson, yeah, he put points on the board in 2 of the games. He scored 20 plus. But look at how he shot that 3 ball. There's not a game where that man shot the 3 ball good. I don't know exactly the stats. I didn't really, look at it too much more. And what I did look at, he shot 30%. 30% from 23% I believe it was, or 23% from downtown in the last series against Memphis Grizzlies. Man could not buy a bucket from the outside. It's just what it was in that series for Jordan Clarkson. Yeah, he impacted the game on that fadeaway mid-range, on that floater that he seems to never miss, but against a team like the Clippers, we are going to have Jordan Clarkson knock down those 3 balls. So Clarkson and Ingles are really 2 key guys for us. And another thing, we'll obviously got to limit Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, that speaks for itself. It's Kawhi Leonard. Got to be able to limit him. And one of those ways to limit him, which goes to my bigger point, the biggest point, the Clippers love to switch. The Jazz don't play great defense with that. And that's probably the toughest matchup that we're going to see during this series is when, for say, Jordan Clarkson's on the floor, Kawhi Leonard, he's going to be calling for those switches. He's going to want Clarkson on him. He's going to want Niang on him. Right? That's going to be key to work around those switches and defend well off those switches. Otherwise, the Clippers are going to live where they like to live, where the Jazz tend to give up the most points on defense, which is the mid-range area. Not the three ball, which the Clippers are an exceptionally well three-point shooting team. They love to live in that mid-range spot. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, both two exceptional mid-range shooters, they're going to love to live there. Got to limit the mid-range, and you have to limit the switches as minimum as you can. And when you do, you got to play lockdown defense, especially when Kawhi Leonard or Paul George is going to be on. We already know Ingles is clamping up Paul George. I'm not worried about Paul George this series. Y'all think that's some just superstition from 2018? No. Ingles is his father, right? Just like we saw with Donovan Mitchell with Dillon Brooks last year, right. It's going to be the exact same thing again. I'm telling y'all. It will be the exact same thing. But Kawhi Leonard, when he gets those switches, and he's got a mismatch with Clarkson, Niang, whoever's on the floor, that's going to be a huge, huge need on the defensive side of the ball. You know, Mitchell showed out in the series against the Memphis Grizzlies. We're going to need him to do that again. We're going to need some Gobert impact on offense, and we got it in a couple games against the Grizzlies. We're going to need it a lot more here in this series. We're going to need the three-point shooting for the Jazz to really step up. We need Bogdanović to step up in a huge way. He was slow to start the series, but he really found his groove later on. Need Bogdanović to keep it up. And listen, I'm telling y'all, there's a lot. You're going to see a lot of posts saying we're going to lose this series. But I'm going to tell you right here. I'm going to tell you right now. We're winning this series. In fact, we're winning this series in 6. The Jazz, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you game-by-game predictions of what's going to happen. The Jazz are going to lose tonight. The Jazz will lose tonight. I'm going to tell you that right now. Utah's losing game 1. We haven't won a game 1 since, ironically, against the Clippers in 2016. Game 1 where Joe Johnson hit the buzzer beater, the bounce off the rim at the buzzer. Oh, man, that was an amazing game. One of my favorites, actually. That was kind of when I really started watching the Jazz. One of my favorite playoff games to watch. And then, oh, good Lord. Game 2, we're going to win. Game 3, we're going to win. Game 4, we're going to lose. It's going to be 2-2 coming back here to Utah. We are going to win Game 5. And we're going to win Game 6. That's exactly how this series is going to go. Utah wins Game 2, win Game 3, Game 5, and Game 6. And the Utah Jazz advance to the Western Conference Finals for the first time since 2008. And just saying it gets a smile on my face. Hopefully I'm wrong about tonight. And the Jazz are able to snag out a win here in Utah to start the series. But we will just have to wait and see. Obviously, if Mike Conley doesn't play all the games, then my prediction doesn't count because I'm assuming Conley comes back from Game 3 onwards. I'm assuming Conley's out for Game number 1 and 2. And if he's out for the whole series or however long he's out, then my prediction doesn't count. But I'm sticking with it. Utah in 6, maybe 7. But no matter what, if we go into a Game 7 in Utah, we're not losing a Game 7 in Utah. We're not losing a Game 7 in Utah. Utah in 6. Book it down right now. We're going to the Western Conference Finals, baby. We will see you guys tonight for the Utah Jazz and Los Angeles Clippers live stream that is starting in just around 3 hours at 9:40 Eastern Time. So if you did enjoy the video, smash the like, hit the subscribe button, and hope to see you on the live stream tonight.